Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny and our love of the game. Tonight, we have two hosts. You got myself, Cyn, and DesRaven. Kingsley had something happening and wasn't able to jump in here with us. No worries. We should be able to see him back next week. But DesRaven, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing pretty good.
And how you feeling after the Final Fantasy video from the twab?
It was very cutely done. Does hilariously mimic very well. I mean, like you said, the angles and everything are just very well done for the style of turn-based action.
Right. For those you don't know, we were talking a little bit before the show started recording about that. I actually jumped in and looked at the TWAB a little bit late. I didn't get to see it earlier on the day. Had quite a bit going on with yard work and rearranging some stuff in the house. But I noticed that because it stood out, Wish 15. And, I've always been, crazy about, hoping and wishing that Wish 15 would come to us. But I know we're all still waiting. But that video, as I said, it nicely done. Mimics the Final Fantasy turn-based. The video captures that they took in game, they did a really, really good job. So, Des,
Indeed.
What's been going on for you this week? Anything new, exciting? Anything good in game, outside of game?
Things happen. It hasn't been like that bad of a week, really. I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, Banner has passed. That's
Thankfully.
done with currently. I definitely have. I guess what's potentially my more finalized thoughts or a better, more well thought of opinion of Rift, because I did play a lot more of it, to the effect I think I'm only missing one thing for the title now.
Oh, nice. I was going to ask if you ended up getting it. I kind of slacked off there the end part of the week with work and still missing a few things there, but for sure should be able to get it next time around.
Yeah, I'm missing. I ended up doing the 2 full resets.
Nice.
Because then, thankfully, Bungie fixed a lot of the reputation bugs and issues. Apparently, they were server-side issues. Because I don't even remember having a hotfix or anything for those fixes. It just happened.
Right.
So that's good. But yeah, I ended up getting 2 full resets in. Completed the challenges on all of my characters, which was, of course, such a breeze now that Banner isn't light enabled. Like, had no problem. Like, all of my characters' Banner armor was still like 1350, and I had no worries about jumping right in and either getting demolished or ended up having a lot more like really close games, even in solo queue. So I don't know. I guess I just needed to kind of warm up to it a bit more. But yeah, missing now. I am like less than 100 points away from the objective one, which is definitely the most painful part of the title with Rift.
Yeah. I can see that, especially if you're solo queuing and you can't really communicate saying, hey, I'd like to run it and dunk it. You're just at the mercy of being able to get there before somebody else does. And I haven't had a chance. I haven't played console in a while. I've been playing on PC. So it sounds like, the console lobbies for you solo queuing, not awful.
No, not supremely awful. But then again, I did have a taste of PC lobbies, considering most of the people I normally play with are now on PC. So I definitely got a taste of PC as well. But of course, I mean, it was no surprise because again, there are definitely those subset on PC that are just unimaginably talented. To be honest, you look at them and go, "How? How are you hitting these buttons so quickly?" I was running across this one warlock that was able to shotgun melee so fast, I was going to accuse them of using a macro. just because the inputs seemed so quick and precise. I wanted to. I ended up not, but I wanted to. I wanted to like talk about something that I think was happening. But yeah, but like I said, I ended up having actually a bunch of fun. What I thought was going to be a downer with the spark holder being able to shoot doesn't. It definitely doesn't seem to detriment at all. Like I had feared at first. The overall flow of Rift just means a more talented, like it does kind of get rid of the roll system, but it does mean that you're not like restricting your PvP Slayer from picking up the spark, and in fact, those people also have pretty much just an equal of a chance to get a score as people that are better, like with mobility or whatever, or better at getting around. So I mean, it does open it up in a big way, and it can create some very interesting plays. Being able to solo carry, in essence.
For sure. It's definitely didn't jump in as much as you, but I did have a little bit of fun in it. Did it as a group, did it both solo queue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying it on console, for the simple fact I do not do mouse and keyboard, and with just playing controller, I would love to see that difference, because as you said, some players on there can be really really good, and I seem to have gotten more than a fair share of going against those good guardians out there in the wild. So
I mean, it's fair. I mean, also if it's more objective based, like the matchmaking could like maybe not take skill into as much of an account. I mean, something like Rift is definitely something I can understand having more of a connection based quality, considering again it's an objective based game mode, so a mix of skill levels can be preferable there. So yeah, I could see that, and probably would be one of the times I wouldn't mind so much connection based matchmaking. Yeah.
Have you jumped into any of the weekly raids yet?
I haven't yet. I haven't had that. Last week I had an opportunity, but I said no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too into Banner. I had taken like a day off of gaming, so it's like, no, I have to get this done now. So I pretty much
Fair enough.
pigeonholed myself into playing Banner Monday night.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I know
so no, I haven't.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to say I haven't hopped in not beyond the last week or last wish from the first featured. So, yeah.
I know we've been a couple of us did the garden run. What was it, Monday, and ended up with just timing. We had a few people left. We left at the ball, so we didn't finish it. We did end up finishing a DSC last night, which was nice. And what's really nice is the fact that the all challenges are active. So with DSC, we always run the challenge mode with a 4-ball strat. So it's an easy 2-chest loot there at the end.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think I've been way slacking on my gaming. Definitely, like I said, I didn't get the title for Iron Banner. Hope to finish that up next time around. For anybody who's looking to do it with only 2 banner rotations, next time is your shot if you want to get it this season.
Indeed.
And I'm, I hadn't. We were talking a little bit before the show. I haven't even gotten to the Sever mission this week with my work schedule, and we let our landscaping here at the house go untouched for a while. So these last 2 days, I've been outside in the yard working and catching up, and hadn't had time to really sit down other than play at night and try to sacrifice my sleep to do so. But it's been good. I've been getting some things done when I have jumped on, and not a lot of extra downtime.
Yeah. So I won't ruin too much of the Sever, but Sever is good this week. is very insightful. Even has a little movie attached to it, which is always nice to get a surprise random cinematics.
Right.
Uh, this one, like, they're definitely still like pulling on the heartstrings, though. They've been doing it ever since Mithrax. Yeah, the Eternal Night with Mithrax this season. They've been really hitting like some emotional notes since then, and this is no different. So it's very good to watch. But I will say, as we realized during Banner, actually, just as a generalized PSA and bringing it to people's attention, I've already mentioned it in the Discord, but there was a little thing that Bungie did not talk about that is hidden away in the patch notes that started at the start of this season. The playlist weapons, such as Bottom Dollar for Gambit, everyone's raving about the Crucible Fusion Rifle that seems to drop every other match, so that's fantastic. I think it's called Riptide?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've definitely been getting a lot of those drop.
Bungie is actually making it worth it to grind for those weapons, actually. There is now a mechanic to where playlist weapons will drop with extra perks or extra trait options. Like, the higher your, the more you reset your rank, the more likely you are to get these playlist weapons with additional trait options. So much like the Guardian Games SMG, where the platinum medals could drop you, 2 trade options in either column, the third and fourth column. Same thing here, except we've seen up to 3 options in the third column, which is absolutely nuts. And they drop fairly consistent. Like, once you get to around your like third reset or so, they get pretty insanely consistent to drop like these multiple trade options, which I mean, it makes them incredibly good to farm and gives you like a reason to have these resets under your belt. So it's very nice, and I'm very for this change.
Yeah, I said, I think it was maybe you or Kato were talking about it in the Is This Good section, and somebody posted, maybe it was him or you posted a picture of it.
Yeah.
Very nice. And I agree. If you're looking for a couple different options for that particular gun, yeah, 100% nice to go for. And it does make it worth going for the resets.
Indeed. Like, this, because the cosmetics, hilariously, the cosmetics for the seasonal ritual weapon or pursuit weapon or whatever the crap they're calling it now, whatever they're calling it, those ornaments, they like they weren't enough to hold my attention to increase my rank for just the ornaments.
Right.
But you give me something tangible, like, oh, these weapons, like, you can find easier rolls on these weapons by resetting your rank. All of a sudden, I had an urgent need to increase my Crucible rank during the week of Banner, because it was double Crucible at the time. So I was like working on my Banner stuff. I was getting Crucible rep, and it's like, yes, I need all of this now. For me, that's like a much more tangible and rewarding thing to give me to pursue these resets. So definitely worked on me, because again, a lot of these playlist weapons are like really good. Like, Bottom Dollar is a great feeling hand cannon. Riptide is a fantastic rapid fire stasis fusion rifle. I mean, Kato swears by the Keening. I mean, it's a sidearm to me, but whatever.
Not a fan of sidearms personally either. So,
nah, like, if it's not a burst or if it's not a rapid fire, I'm not having it. But whatever. Of course, outside of Drang, because Drang serves a purpose. But yeah, so yeah, this is fantastic for me, especially personally, because like I said, it gives me something far more tangible than just an ornament to show off. Hey, I did this thing.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And kind of curious because you did grind out a lot of banner. Did you reset? How many times did you reset Crucible? 2 or 3?
I'm like on the cusp of the second reset. I'm like right there. I think I'm at like Mythic 3. I've reset the once. Yeah, because I'm like one rank away from getting the ornament for Crucible.
Nice.
That's how close I got during banner. I actually had far more wins than I anticipated I would have, especially considering the first 5 games I played, I lost miserably each and every time. So that might have tainted my first look of Rifts just a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little. But no, it's still super fun. Because again, I got into some more closer matches, like the back and forths. Oh, I love the back and forth matches on Rift. Like when you go in like 8 minutes without a single score just because you're picking up and taking it almost all the way. Just to, like you're down, they clear you out, they pick it up, they take it almost all the way. I love those back and forths. But yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm still in love with Rift, thankfully. After playing a lot more.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind again jumping in this next time around, maybe going out of dirt a little bit harder this time to try to get the one title because that's what I do, my title and triumph grinds. But to try to enjoy it a little bit more. Yeah, I think it'll be good. As we see it more and more, I think it'll be a good thing overall.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but and again, I do feel like twice a season keeps Iron Banner fresh enough to where, like you said, like it's definitely a pinch with this title, like especially Rift with the objectives, and we believe we've narrowed down the objective progression with picking up the spark gives you 1 point, dunking the spark gives you 5 points, and potentially carrying the spark may award you additional points. And we're not 100% certain if revives do anything. But yeah, that's how we've narrowed it down. But like I said, since the objective is kind of one person, it can be rough this season to get the title in one season. But I do still like the idea of 2 banners because, again, like you said, you're still motivated enough to want to go back in to grind for the title.
Right.
So might be good, but we'll definitely find out as the seasons progress if 2 is definitely not enough or if 2 is a nice sweet spot. I'm sure we'll get some kind of change if it's. Hopefully, we can get some kind of maybe 3. I can see arguments for 3 banners this season, which is roughly what we had because I think we only had like 4 at most a season.
Right.
Maybe more for normal seasons anyway. But then, of course, the long seasons, we had a lot of banners. So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I know we got, they mentioned in the TWAB, and we can start going over a few additional items. I know we covered probably a couple touch points there from this week. Looked like it was kind of light overall, but we have
Yes.
Trials of Osiris that'll keep us busy in the interim.
Indeed. The return of Trials is upon us. With that, some mostly pretty good looking armor. We all know it isn't really hitting it there.
You don't like that monkey helm?
I just want to meet the designer that had this fantastic idea of occasionally giving hunters these weird faces for armor. Just so I can ask him why. Why?
I mean, I guess they at some point start running out of ideas, and they got to tap into some creativity. I imagine.
Uh, sure. But why is it like Season of the Chosen? Like Hunter said that weird face thing for the helmet, and now we look like a monkey. It's like, why Hunter stuff? Like,
I'd like
all
to
right. I
think
mean,
that us Titans and the Warlocks get it too every now and again.
sure. You can talk to me the next time you get a monkey face.
Well, it wasn't that monkey face, but what season was it that the Titan had that weird outfit? It kind of looked like I want to say a jean jacket, but it might not have been a jean jacket. They kind of look like regular street clothes almost.
I mean, the Lux outfits?
Yes, the Lux. That's what it was.
You mean the outfit that makes up 90% of my Titan's Red Hood cosplay?
That was not my
Yeah.
favorite for the Titan. Personally, was not my
Oh,
favorite.
dude, I love that thing. Because again, I looked at the set and I go, I can make my Titan look like Red Hood. Yeah, I'll do that. Which I mean, I basically did the same thing. I mean, it ended up being changed a lot, but I basically did the same thing with Hunter, making a Mysterio outfit for armor as well. But yeah, so Trials is coming back. I do love the Sparrow. Like this
Yeah.
Sparrow looks freaking amazing. That is somehow attached to it. Yeah. Anyway, good going, hippie. Good going.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's something. All right. I do love her personalities in the twab. I will say,
Yeah,
hippie has been
she's
like
done
a
well.
fan. Yeah, she's been a fantastic addition to the community team. I feel like she lets her personality shine through far more than DMG or Cosmo did. So yeah, I find myself looking forward to hippie twabs. But anyway, yes, they did do a pass on talking about airborne effectiveness, the new stat that is on weapons. And as I've started on the Hephaestus Index, I will say this is a very interesting thing because definitely the newer weapons definitely have more of a varied airborne effectiveness, and it doesn't reach very far. Only very particular things. But yeah, that'll be something, like I said, I'm still further going through and be recording everything because things changed. Anyway, it's okay. Every few seasons, Bungie just does this to me, and it's fine. But they did want to break down airborne effectiveness a little more. There was a bit of a misspeak in a TWAB prior that made mention that all primary weapons have their airborne accuracy penalty removed. What it should have stated was that if you have a 60 airborne effectiveness for a primary weapon, all of your airborne penalties or all your airborne accuracy penalties are removed. So there's that. They do give us, like I said, some baselines. But they say at base, primary weapons generally shoot straighter while airborne than they did before. They give a hand cannon example of base accuracy cone, aka the arrow angle, is now at a 0.8 degrees compared to 0.97 from last season. So it's very, very close. And also, you can fully eliminate the airborne accuracy penalty on, well, any weapon really, which will mean that your weapons will shoot as straight as they do while on the ground, which is something Bungie has never done before in Destiny. There's always been some level of randomness, except for maybe outside of hand cannons with Icarus grip. But there's always been some level of randomness while firing while in the air. So a lot of this speak and like this stuff seems to basically be justifying why they're making this change and why they're having it to be such a build crafted stat. And And of course, I did hear there has been some rumblings in the more vocal parts of the community, especially the content creator side of the community, saying, certain naysaying things about adding airborne effectiveness or having it basically as a build craft. I mean, me personally, it's still like a skill gap thing to effectively use your vertical movement while in an engagement.
Right.
So, to be honest, the fact that they're allowing, like, if you build into it, you can be even better. Like, shots will land, but they do also specify for special weapons, you do have to have a max of 100 airborne effectiveness to benefit fully for special weapons. So, there's that as well, because again, I mean, special weapons are, of course, more powerful. They're meant to be. They're the one-hit kills. How was it? I believe John Wisniewski, the old design lead, made mention that special weapons were basically one-hit kills with a contract. That contract is for shotguns. You get close enough to them, and they'll take a guardian out one hit. For a sniper rifle, you put the reticule on their head, you'll take them out in one hit. So, yeah, they're contract weapons, as used by that terminology. I'm probably talking in circles right now, but hopefully making sense.
And I do think, honestly, those who are rumbling about it, like you said, maybe some, the vocal minority, the content creators. Honestly, if they didn't make this change, it wouldn't give them something new to talk about in their content. It would be the
honestly,
same boring game. And honestly, for those who like to do it, they should build into it. We build into everything else into the game. It is a part of the RPG element, is it not?
Yeah, 100%. Like, build crafting for any purpose is 100% like an MMO thing, and it definitely seems to be Bungie's mission to make this more than just a shooter, but definitely a shooter that is as close to the MMO investment and genre as they can possibly get it, while still maintaining the feel and presence of a first-person shooter.
Right.
So it will never be a proper MMO anytime soon, at least. But it is definitely far above and beyond depth-wise than any shooter that I know, beyond potentially Halo itself. And even then, like, we definitely have more stuff to get. But as far as, I mean, Halo just has a lot of, like, history and lore connected to it by default, essentially, at this point. So there's that.
Right.
But no, I mean, here's the thing. Having it as a build-crafted stat, again, they tell you right here in this TWAB, you can have perfect aerial accuracy if you build into it enough. Which, again, will only make your strategies, like, if you're good mixing your vertical movement into your combat, this will only make that strategy far more effective, thus creating an even wider skill gap between you and potentially your opponent.
Yeah.
Which should make pub stomping plebs that much easier, which you would think would make most of these people happy, but here we are. Here we are.
They'll get past it. Give them a month.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll be over it. And then they'll be like, man, these changes are great. Now, like, they'll finally realize what you're saying, that it's much better. They can do their strats easier. And it's whatever they have to give up to build into it, it's not going to make a difference.
Yes. And like they said, they open up with their entire philosophy behind this change, and they want aerial combat to be balanced with grounded combat, lest it be oppressive. Yeah. So if you want oppressive aerial combat, build into it, invest in it, and then you can be that guy. Otherwise, don't. But they do also say that they're going to have, like, some more details. I'm assuming, like, more numbers and such to help us, like with the build crafting process, the what to use with what, when, where, and why. So there's that, but that is not now. There is definitely going. They do mention something else coming down the line about airborne effectiveness to help. There is that. So just hang on there. It's going to be fine.
Stay
They
tuned.
right. They also at the end they do mention that there will be a small mid-season weapon balance update shipping with Solstice. It will include some buffs to weapon subfamilies that have been languishing for a while, and a fix for certain special weapons not getting enough ammo per special bricks for one defeated in PvP, and some tuning for oppressive exotic weapons. As they mentioned, beyond that, they are wrapping up production on the Season 18 weapons. Fantastic news. I honestly thought they'd probably be done with them by now, but cool to see a little more of the timeline of the things happening behind the scenes. It's always
Right.
nice. But also, they're working on a matching balance update for Season 18, which will be, they mentioned it will be even a standard appropriate size. No novels this time. Some highlights coming from that is revisiting some weapon subfamilies, legendary perk and exotic weapon tuning, and adding intrinsic anti-champion functionality to several exotic weapons.
That will be
Now
huge.
that will be, see, I like this new mentality of the exotics because it's been their past thing that exotics shouldn't, like, what makes an exotic isn't the fact that they're always better than a legendary, but the fact that they do like interesting things for you, right? But I feel like
Right.
if more exotics have like this anti-champion stuff, a like I said, I feel it kind of can define an exotic in a brand new way that can feel powerful in the appropriate content. I mean, just look at Arbalest. I mean, last season it was like an absolute all-star because we didn't have great piercing options, but sitting right there was Arbalest. You didn't want to use Arbalest? Well, Ariana's Vow is still a shield piercer as well, so we have options beyond just the seasonal mods. And I do feel like adding more exotics with more intrinsic anti-champion stuff will hopefully make the arguments of like seasonal anti-champion mods a little more bearable for more people. I'm hoping.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think the exotics will open that up a lot and make some other mod choices a little more meaningful.
Yeah. They also go on to state some stuff, some new universal emotes that have been on sale, or not emotes, Jesus, class items, universal ornament class items have been on sale that pair with exotics, and they do like some barely noticeable things when you pair them with an exotic.
I was looking in those pictures when you see, it's funny because you say barely noticeable to see if what they were saying came across in the pictures, but I couldn't really
No,
tell in these pictures.
yeah, that hunter's cloak is 100% not active.
And it doesn't look like the Titan mark is either.
Like the, well, actually, I don't even think the warlock bond is either. Because that's not even I don't think that's the appropriate exotic for it anyway. But no. The hunter, I've seen images of it while active, and it's like this whitish energy wall basically around the collar. So it's, I mean, it's sure it's there, but definitely hoping. I do like this type of stuff that interacts with other armor. I just hope they can make something a little more noticeable for the future. Maybe just a little bit,
Just a little bit.
just a
I
tiny
do
bit.
I do like the fact that I think that is super creative.
Oh
Having
yeah,
a
for sure.
legendary, you know, ornament to be able to do that and pair with exotics to go along with it. And
Mm,
yeah, I'm a fan, and I would love exactly like you said, love to see what they can do with it, and if they can make it a little bit more
yeah,
noticeable and a little more. Hate to use the word flamboyant, but that's it, right? Make it a little bit
yeah.
more show off.
Or like some people say, a little more fabulous. But yeah, I feel like if these do well, I do feel like more as it rolls on, like these will become more essentially. Because you got to think about like the first like armor ornaments that came out weren't super fantastic or flashy. They were different, but not always. I mean, they they certainly were no like Robo Raptors, that's for sure. So yeah, I feel like as it goes on, they'll probably be a little more comfortable to make bolder choices.
For sure.
Hoping again, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, 100%. But yeah, that's the twab. Turn-based RPG fans should definitely watch the Final Destiny, Wish 15. It's it's fantastic. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
twab.
not bad. Short and sweet. And
Short and sweet.
other than that, it's just going to be the next couple weeks just playing the game, jump into trials, do your raids and
Yep.
pinnacles. I know I'm going to be hunting for my last triumph needed for the Val title, and it's
Nice.
just caretaker. It's the caretaker challenge on master. So I'm super
Mm,
excited to get up to level enough to be able to get that done.
yeah.
Um, I know a lot of people have G'd it last season, so I might end up just doing it on that this season and just to knock it out. I'm not sure how many people are going to be wanting and willing and up to light level for us to be able to jump in and do it. But yeah, that'll be exciting. And I know I'm going to be grinding out some more duality. It's probably haven't run it as much as some, but I've gotten a few clears now under my belt. I've gotten a few of the titles or the triumphs done needed for the title.
Nice, nice.
Kind of curious, I'm kind of curious how Master is. I haven't seen anything of it or any gameplay of Master or how different or difficult it's going to be, but it'll be fun to get that knocked out as well. And solo seems like it'll be a chore, but I do like the fact that you don't have to do it solo flawless because I definitely will not be able to do it solo flawless.
Yeah, yeah. Solo is definitely going to be. I don't know. I say it's going to be interesting, but this past week what was it? Just a couple days ago, I've been able to unlock Classy Restoration.
Yeah, same. And I haven't had a chance to try it out much yet.
Oh, I definitely tried it out. I say a couple days ago, but yeah, it was literally Tuesday. Well, which was a couple days ago, so that's still fair. But no, I was actually able to test it in the Sever mission,
Nice.
and
And it worked really well.
I'm gonna tell you because I used my as I call my off support build. Because I mean, the hunters definitely don't like full support, at least not from a healing perspective. But of course, we can radiant everything for days. But for like survivability, it was a build that I made to go with the healing nades. But with Classy Restoration, and now that we have Ember of Empyrean, I went ahead and completed my build with Ember of Empyrean, and of course, putting on Classy Restoration. I went with a normal grenade and Sever, considering I had no teammates, and I was hoping everything would work out fine. Everything worked out fantastic. I didn't die once in Sever. It was great.
Nice.
I was standing in flames with Restore times 2 on, and I just wasn't dying, and it felt great. Like with Empyrean, refreshing time for solar weapon or ability kills, and hunters just being able to spam like knives for days. Yeah, I was a murder machine, and it felt fantastic. Because with Empyrean, I only needed to dodge like 3 or 4 times in the boss fight, and I was able to keep it up and going. Otherwise, I mean, ugh, it's going to be sad when Classy Restoration goes away at the end of the season, but I can still with the way this build is, I'm definitely still going to have a ton of fun just with Healing Grenade instead of Classy Restoration.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic still.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point. It's definitely going to be a kick, right? When we lose that,
Yeah.
kind of like it was when Particle Decon went away a few seasons back. Yeah. It's just a change of mindset for everybody, and change of builds. We'll find something. We'll find the new and shiny at that point.
Indeed. Like, Classy Restoration will lead to a lot of nutty things this season. But yeah, I mean, just be prepared. Definitely have something in mind. Just without it, the solar, because like I said, my solar build will be entirely viable without Classy Restoration. It's just right now with it, it's even better. So yeah, it feels great. It is nice to not feel like a squishy hunter. That's like probably the best part, because I mean, with just going into like the stats that the classes build into naturally, hunters kind of get the short straw when it comes to that, because Titan's class abilities go off your resilience, which is literally your hit points. Warlock's class abilities go off their not resilience, recovery. There we go. Yeah, that's the word, which is literally your health regen. And hunters, we go off our mobility, which should make us go faster, but there's run cap speed, so not really.
You can jump higher, maybe, right?
No, yes. There are noticeable differences in jump height when it comes to mobility. Otherwise, you die a lot. Henceforth, why I'm okay with being a squishy hunter, because like I said, we get the short end when it comes to stats. And hilariously, these are the same stats that were leaned into for most of the supers in D1. Hunters were more about mobility. And same stuff. But yeah, it's nice just to feel, like I said, it's nice to feel different and to feel unstoppable. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think not to steal a song title here, but I think there's going to be some blurred lines as the other as we see Arc 3.0 roll out, and with the new Solar and new Void and the ways the stasis subclasses now work. I think a lot of those lines are being blurred, with a lot of Titans can now use some things and that they couldn't in the past. Hunters can, and Warlocks can. So it's nice. It shouldn't really matter what class you play, and I think that's great, because you don't always have to be a squishy hunter or a bull in a china shop Titan, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the fantastic thing. Like, so far with these 3.0 like upgrades, like you said, they're definitely, for these elements, they are definitely blurring lines on like what each class can do. I mean, true, each class like specializes in a main in a main buffing like keyword. But then you have because like for Void Hunters, their whole thing is Invis. Void Titans' whole thing is Overshield. Void Warlocks are Devour. So like I said, for every buff, there's one class that like really leans in on those keywords. But the debuffs are like spread out more. And that's where like I said, that's where the lines blur. And Solar is similar, except I can't remember what Solar Titans lean into. Like at all. I know Warlocks lean into the Cure a little more, I think. So I guess maybe Titans might be Restore, while Hunters are Radiant. But either way, it does like getting rid of some of those boundaries and giving each class like a taste of the other things. Like I said, I can make an off support like Solar Hunter build where, yes, I'm buffing people's damage, but I can also, in emergencies, toss out a healing grenade and like benefit from it. And then Empyrean lets me mow things down and like sustain myself, saving this one healing grenade for somebody else. So, which for those unfamiliar, an off category is someone that doesn't. They may fit into the role, but they're not like within that role. It's hard to describe if you're not familiar with either MOBAs or arena shooter or class-based shooters or MMOs.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. I think it is Titans or Restoration. That's one of the perks that I had picked out, and pairing with Loreley's and the sunspots for it. So
yeah. Loreley. Ugh.
Yeah. And
that is rough in PvP. That is definitely rough.
Yeah, and I've toyed around with it a little bit, but since I've been doing Hunter more in PvP, I haven't really gotten the hang of it. I've just been using it in PvE, but also noticed that Zebrak was using the throw hammer instead of the shoulder charge. The shoulder charge I've been leaning into to boop some people into walls and boop them off ledges recently. I'm actually going to switch. I just switched over now to the throwing hammer because when you pick it up, it procs cure, and it seems like the survivability that'll be huge, especially in that solo content.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've always loved throwing hammer too because again, it's one of those. I kind of wish hunters could do it, but the fact that you have like a time to pick up the hammer and like fully recharge your melee is absolutely busted, and I love it.
It is
I'm definitely jealous of Titans being capable of doing that. Yeah. Like we've been throwing stuff first, but we can't pick it back up.
Oh man, well, we definitely got a lot to get through here for the rest of the season. Third weekend, so quite a bit of time left to toy around with the new solar subclasses. Try some of the solo content. Definitely recommend anybody out there who hasn't done any of the raids yet. Don't be afraid to post up into the 100. When we did the DSC, we were talking about, or I was talking about earlier there. I think it was Sebitron's first time getting to clear, and it's always fun going back in there and helping people out. So if you listen to this, create 100.io hosting, post up. We got a great group of Guardians, and not only this Discord, but the Al Sector Alliance. You got Potato Thumbs, you got Two Titans on Hunter and GDC, Guardian Downcast, all willing to jump in and help. We got people all over these communities that love raiding, so don't be afraid to post up and get some Guardians in there on your side to help you get those clears.
100%. Get in there, make some posts.
Get in there. Whew.
Make some fake TV friends.
But other than that, we can keep it short this week, and again, should have Kingsley back next week and keep us on our tracks. We try to derail the show, Des and I, when it's just us. Des, close us out. Where can people find you, good sir?
You can find me, of course. Easiest place to find me, of course, is the Discord. I am floating around there, still currently the Duel Master. So yeah, I'm here. I'm also on Twitter at DES_Raven. Still haven't installed it on my phone. Sorry. But also still working on the Festus Index. Both places you can find both things, either on the pinned tweet on my Twitter or within the D2 Index in the Discord. Then
definitely check those out. Of course, we'll get to mine in a second, but you can find Kingsley in most of the places as Kingsley Mac, except for on Twitter, where he is DJ MC Kingsley, without the DJ. You can find me on Twitter at Cyn_Media, or of course here in the Discord currently, because of our Patreon perks. Thank you to all of our Patreons out there. I am now Cinnamon Roll. Cyn, of course, is CYN in that. So come find me. And you can find our show and most places at the Guardian Hub, especially over there on Twitter, or on our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
Best hub on the net.
Thank you, Des. I was waiting for it. You were keeping me in suspense there for a few minutes. It's not often we get to switch these roles around.
Indeed, gotta keep things, gotta keep you on your toes, gotta keep you waiting, gotta keep things surprising.
Absolutely. And to all you Guardians listening live, we appreciate you. You can always check us out in this live channel. If not, thank you to all you Guardians out there listening onto your podcast app of choice. And until next week, stay magical.
Later.